Hello my friends, this is Jose from LuoVita. Today I'm going to talk about how to overcome fears and failures. This is something we all struggle with sometimes, and of course we all have this. And we have this tendency to react emotionally to them sometimes. It's normal. Fear of failure can be also some crippling experience, right? It can result from this variety of causes, for example, ranging from you can have a panic attack during a presentation or to ridicule and other negative outcomes, right? So, however, there are many ways to overcome this feeling of fear, and you can find one that will work for you, believe me. So, what are the symptoms? Symptoms of fear and failure can be a serious problem for some people, of course. And this condition can leave them feeling stiff and unable to function normally. In addition, they may feel nauseous and have a hard time sleeping. So sometimes we don't even are really aware of some situations. So some trainer therapists can help you identify this underlying cause and symptoms and suggest ways to deal with this. So fear of failure can be caused by a setback or small mistakes, and it can also result from embarrassment or ridicule from other people. So from childhood on, we can develop this fear of failure, which can result in negative thinking whenever we are faced with a new challenge. It can even affect a person's relationship. People with this fear may isolate themselves from others, which can lead to loneliness and depression. But to overcome this problem, the first step is to identify the source of your fear and failure. So if it's your self-esteem, for example, it's also another issue, but you need to look into it and identify what you need to do to overcome your fear. It's essential to understand that failure can make you feel ashamed sometimes, and this can negatively impact your future plans, everything. So in order to overcome this fear, you need to be willing to take risks and try new things. If you have a goal, for example, that you have been thinking about, it's important to take it step by step. Even if you fail, the most important thing is to keep trying. Keep trying. Failure is a necessary part of life, and it's necessary to fail often to achieve something. So what are the causes sometimes? So it's a negative emotion, right? Fear. But it prevents us from pursuing our goals, and it's often accompanied by symptoms such as increased heart rate, chest tightness, dizziness sometimes, lightheadedness, sweating, and digestive problems, even pains, right? When you are fearing something, you may try to avoid attempting anything that's risky. So you can avoid this pain and disappointment that comes with failure. But there are a number of different causes of fear of failure, and addressing them is the first step in conquering your fears. So fear of failure can also be triggered by some traumatic experience that leaves someone doubting their abilities and believing they are not good enough, right? In severe cases also, it can prevent people from advancing in their career, in their personal life, leading them to procrastinate and delay really important decisions sometimes. So the positive side of failure is that it's a necessary step in achieving goals. And that it's why it's so important to acknowledge that you can't avoid failure, really. One of the best ways to deal with this fear of failure is to take this new perspective on your failure. So by focusing on your talents and strengths, you can change your relationship with failure. It's frightening sometimes. At first it's frightening, right? But giving yourself permission to fail is this liberating process. So focusing on your own goals and abilities can help you overcome this fear of failure. Focusing on yourself is important to overcome fear of failure. It enables you to avoid thinking negatively about other people. And another way to overcome the fear of failure is through goal setting and this mindfulness training. So mindfulness, I have another video about this, is a practice that involves being fully present in the moment and not overreacting to the things around you. And what are the treatments? So fear of failure is a psychological condition, right, that keeps people from achieving their goals and aspiration. It can result in a feeling of shame, low self-esteem, and this uncertain future. It can also result in losing social influence and disappointing important people. Often, this psychological cost of failure is more devastating than its material costs. So in most cases, for example, people suffering from this condition don't worry as much about losing money or losing face as they do about disappointing themselves. This disappointment. Treatment for fears and failures involves examining the cause of fear and developing these mechanisms, right? One approach is cognitive behavioral therapy, which involves modifying the way people think about failure. And the goal is to replace this negative outlook with a positive one. And other method, for example, is this exposure therapy, which involves gradually exposing people to the source of their fears. And exposure therapy can be done in a safe environment. It should be done in a safe environment. So treatment for fears and failures, there are a lot, but in general, psychotherapy can help people overcome these negative feelings. For example, a person suffering from agoraphobia, for example, a fear of failure, may avoid a situation that will increase their chances of failure. So they may set unrealistic goals, for example, that increases their chances of failure, like that. But if you're suffering from this condition, it's recommended to consult with some healthcare provider, some specialist. Fortunately, most people with this condition are able to overcome their phobias with the help of this professional. But treatment for fears and failures also depends on the severity of problem and how it affects your life. You can also try self-help strategies. For example, you can talk to someone about your fears and failures and discover what's contributing for your anxiety and depression. So by addressing, for example, this situations, someone can help you with this. But when it comes to overcome this fear and failures, you can also have some plan B. This will allow you to focus on what you can control and create another plan. Alternative plan. This also will help you to feel less stressed and anxious, right? So you must find the source of your fear to work with. One of the best ways to overcome fear is by adopting this positive mindset. By thinking positively, you will neutralize any negative thoughts that could deviate you from success. Even in the worst case scenarios, it would happen sometimes, but having this backup plan can give you this peace of mind. What you also can do is reframe these negative thought patterns. So, negative thinking is a habit that can cause a person to lose hope and even disincentivize them from acting upon their goals. And these thoughts often involve critical remarks directed to themselves and are a result of these cognitive distortions. So by reframing these negative thoughts, a person can stop the cycle and feel better. To begin reframing negative thought patterns, you first must recognize them, and then you can do this yourself or with help of a professional. And this practice takes some time, but it will help you to develop this positive outlook. And the first step is awareness, right? Ask yourself, what am I thinking? And write down the thoughts. This will help you recognize these thinking patterns and the ways in which you reframe them. So another way to reframe these patterns is by asking yourself questions. Other questions. When you notice yourself judging yourself, for example, try asking yourself questions that will help you to see the situation in a more positive light. Use these methods that can help you overcome this negative thought pattern and move forward in life. It's very important, you know. Time is passing. We must do our best, you know. It's for ourselves. Cognitive behavior therapy focuses on helping you identify the thought patterns that are causing you to feel bad sometimes. It also helps you to develop, for example, these strategies for changing your negative thought patterns. So you can work in reframing your thoughts by challenging the way you think about failures and fears. So this cognitive behavioral therapy is a highly effective form of therapy. It requires some sessions, but it's important to reframe your negative thoughts and look for small things that you can be thankful for in your life. So by finding things to be grateful for, we all have a lot of things that we should be grateful for, and you can help yourself feel better with it. And this helps you to face this fear and failure. So gratitude is really this core pillar of positive mental health. And I advise you also to check out our description. In the description I have a lot of resources and links. Subscribe if you want, if you find this helpful. But also I advise you to subscribe to our blog LuoVita.com. Why? Because once a week I will send you step-by-step content that will make you feel different and ask yourself questions, reframe ideas, look out over time. This is just to help you, just reframing, creating new opportunities, and also transformation in life. So go on and let me know if it helps you. What do you need as another resource, for example? And thank you for being there, and take care until next time. Bye.